Greetings, fellow man. Servus Männer. It's Red Pill Germany again. And today, I want to discuss German socialism, Eastern German socialism, that is, but also socialism in general. And as an example, I took the inofficial anthem of the Eastern German Republic, the GDR, the Deutsche Demokratische Republik. It's a really funny story because the actual anthem of the Eastern German Republic, Auferstanden aus Ruinen, which means as much as risen out of the ruins once again or something, was the official anthem of the Eastern Republic. However, the lyrics got banned, and this is very curious. I mean, imagine a country that has a national anthem and it still keeps that anthem, but the lyrics are banned. That is quite weird because the thing is that in the lyrics, the song actually talks about having peaceful relationships with your neighboring countries and to be peaceful and not go to war and all these things. And that was not very popular in the Eastern Bloc, I think, so they banned the lyrics. Also, the song was clearly talking about Germany should be reunited again, and that was politically absolutely not wanted back then. So the following song that I want to discuss became something like the unofficial anthem, actually, and it is the party song. It is not really about beer bongs and fraternities, but it's about the political party, the Party of Unity, SED, or Sozialistische Einheitspartei Deutschlands, which means the Union Party or the only party of German socialists, which is the party in a one-party system, of course, like the Nazi Party was the only party in the Third Reich, of course. So I don't want to be victim of a copyright strike, so I decided that I will just play that song to you, and I translated the lyrics and I want to discuss that a little bit. So I'm not a professional musician, so be kind in your criticism.
Sie hat uns alles gegeben, Sonne und Wind, und sie geizte nie. Wo sie war, war das Leben. Was wir sind, sind wir durch sie. Sie hat uns niemals verlassen. Froh raucht die Welt, uns war warm, uns schützt die Mutter der Massen, uns trägt ihr mächtiger Arm.
So what you can get here from the first stanza already is that the party is really seen as some kind of deity here. So it clearly talks about it gave us the sun and the wind, and the party gave everything to the people, yeah? And even life. So where she was, there was life. That means the party is clearly mystified here as some life-giving entity. And this is reminiscent of the first monotheistic religions, actually. As far as I know, there was a pharaoh in ancient Egypt, Echnaton, who declared himself as the sun god and as the one or highest god or something. And that was just a short experiment because that cult of Echnaton was ended after he was killed, I believe, or after he died at least. So after that, Egypt became polytheistic again, but it clearly shows that the sun is definitely the life-giving, energy-giving entity, and the party is claiming that life-giving role for itself here. That means the party is not just a club of people or a political organization. No, that means all life actually comes from the party. That is very weird, but for them it was actually the truth, because they could just kill you. Yeah? They are not the givers of life, but they can take it away really easily. That is the point. And then, of course, the party is protecting, and it is carrying us on her mighty arm. So this is just actually laying out a trap for weak people, people who want handouts and people who want safe spaces and protection. So these propaganda experts clearly know what they're doing. I mean, they are appealing to women, of course, who seek protection, but also to weak mangina men who want free handouts and who want to be carried by the group and who don't want to be self-reliant and to work. They knew that they can get the votes, or well, they don't need the votes anymore, but they can get the support of these weak people by telling them that they're a protector of the people, right? So, typical fascist socialist logic here. We are the source of life and we are the protectors of life. And the world is harsh and dangerous and you need us to protect you. So there is a little mafia element involved also, I think. Additionally, I would say that the swastika that was used by the Nazi Party and by Adolf Hitler is also a sun symbol originally of Indo-German people, or Aryans as they have been called back then. Now the term is not used in scientific circles anymore, but we call them Indo-European or Indo-German people. And the swastika is a very old symbol of the sun, and the sun, again, the life-giving element. So also the right-wing socialists or the national socialists were using this sun symbol, and you see that in many old propaganda posters that I do not want to show here. Just Google them.
Die Partei, die hat immer Recht und Genossen, es bleibet dabei. Denn wer kämpft für das Recht, der hat immer Recht gegen Lüge und Ausbeuterei.
So, in the verse actually, you can see that they say the party is always right. That means, yeah, pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? But of course, they don't declare that just like a third grader. No, they have plenty of reasons and they give proper arguments for their assumption that the party is always right. Because they say, you see, we fight for right. We fight the good fight. And that is why we're always right. And we fight against exploitation. And this is why whatever we do, we're justified in doing so. Doesn't that ring a bell? You guys, doesn't that really ring a bell, you know, when you compare this to 2016? Isn't that social justice warrior logic? Whatever they do, you know, they can be as racist, as violent, as bigoted as they want, because they fight the good fight. They fight for the oppressed people. So it doesn't matter how many people they assassinate, doesn't matter how many careers they end, how many good names they pull into the dirt, how many lies and falsehoods they say. It doesn't matter, because they are the good ones. Just get it, man. We're the good ones. We are allowed to do this. Our racism is good racism because we're the good ones. So you see, already back then in the 1950s or 40s, they were thinking like SJWs. Marxism, right? There is an oppressed class. You are allowed to use whatever means necessary to fight against this oppression. Okay, moving on.
Wer das Leben beleidigt, ist dumm oder schlecht. Wer die Menschheit verteidigt, hat immer recht. So aus Leninschem Geist wächst durch Stalin Geschweiß die Partei, die Partei, die Partei.
So this was the women's choir, and yeah, I tried to use my high-pitched voice, but maybe it's a little bit awkward and laughable, but I just did that for demonstration, okay? So here you have some enemy, they or somebody is offending life, yeah? So offending life means to be a bad person, you know, to be a capitalist or something, threatening the lower classes or the oppressed classes. So they must be stupid or bad, obviously. And whoever defends humanity is always in the right. Here again, they try to justify the atrocities that they're committing by claiming that they do it to fight against oppression, of course. And then the last one is really cringeworthy. They say, like, from Lenin's spirit is growing, welded by Stalin, the party, the party, the party. So here, well, they didn't really say Marx, but from Lenin gave the ideas and Stalin created the order by his gulags and by his ethnic cleansing. So that is the welding that is going on by Stalin, and that is actually glorified here as a good thing. So this is genocide, but they say it was the right thing to do because reasons, and at the end there is the party. Big party indeed. So let me tell you something. In 1953, there was a workers' riot in eastern Germany, in eastern Berlin mainly, I think, and the Soviet Union actually rolled in with tanks, and they shot on their own people with tank rounds. So after that, they basically gave out leaflets saying that the people of Germany have squandered, they have lost the confidence, the trust that the government put into the people. You know, get this, guys. They said that by rioting against against this oppressive regime, the people squandered the trust that the government set into the people. You know, and the patron saint of all communists in Germany, Bertolt Brecht, a communist writer, he then said, well, if the government is disappointed in the people, why don't they elect a new population then? And the joke is actually that in 2015, European politicians actually thought, why not choose a new population? That's right, Bertolt Brecht. That was a very good idea. Let's do exactly that, because if people become too much of an opposition to what the New World Order wants, why not bring in new people who are maybe not so smart, not so rebellious, and they're easier to rule and easier to manipulate. So here you can see the population of eastern Germany, and the plateauing sets in when the wall was built. So this wall was not a protective wall against outsiders like the Hadrian's Wall or like the limes here that separated the Roman Empire from my ancestors, actually, from the Germans, or what Donald Trump maybe wants to build, or what Israel has. No, this was a wall to keep the population that was fleeing by the millions in the country. You know, they had the people were voting with their feet in Eastern Germany in the 1950s. They thought, screw Eastern Germany, screw communism, we want freedom, we want the Western system. So they just left. You see how this population is dwindling here. And then they started shooting people. Then they started building these barbed wire fences and these automated shooting automatons, these death machines, in order to keep the people in the country, to make them prisoners in their own country. And yeah, to all you guys who think that socialism is a great idea, this is how socialism looks like. And they didn't call it communism back then. They said this is socialism, real existierender Sozialismus, shooting your own people, making them prisoners in their own country. That is what socialism is. So I hope I could give you some perspective, and maybe you can think about that when you hear Bernie Sanders next time, and you think, oh, that free stuff and all this protection and this life-giving sunlight sounds awfully good. But in fact, this is what it leads to in the end, actually, because all the smart people will vote with their feet, and all the hardworking people will leave to a place where they will be actually recompensated for their hard work. And only the the parasites, the leeches, and the weak of mind are left in that country, and even they will rebel after a while, and then the tanks roll in. So have fun with your communism, but I'm just warning you guys not to give in to these promises that these politicians make. There is no free lunch, and it will end in bloodshed if you think you can get away with just voting in a communist or a socialist and then you have free stuff. This is how it worked. It has already been tried many times in many countries. It never works. It's incompatible with human nature. Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering, when I say Kameraden, that does not mean comrade. I mean, it is the literal translation, but the words are used differently in Germany. The socialist or communist comrade is actually Genosse in German. And Kamerad is comrade in a military sense. That means you are sharing the sleeping quarters with someone like soldiers do in barracks. So Genosse would be the socialist comrade. That's not what I'm saying, really. Okay, just in case you're wondering. So that's my part for today. And thanks for stopping by. Hope to catch you guys again soon. Have a great day. Servus, Kameraden.
Die Partei, die hat immer Recht und Genossen, es bleibt dabei. Denn wer kämpft für das Recht, der hat immer Recht gegen Lüge und Ausbeuterei.